normal off-season stuff right here. David Njoku franchise tagged. He is staying there in Cleveland. That's cool. Jack Doyle retiring. That's kind of sad. Indianapolis losing a weapon there, but I think this is smart. He just retired. Calvin Ridley suspended for betting on NFL games. What the fuck? Welcome back, everybody. We are reviewing sports. My name is James Irvin. Today we got some weird NFL news, and I said during the offseason I would be covering all of it. So David Njoku franchise tag, good move. They still have to pay Baker Mayfield. They should pay Baker Mayfield. Not after this season, but after this season, yeah, pay Baker Mayfield. And David Njoku gets stay, so he's a good tight end. Gets stay. Hopefully the offense uses him finally for his talents that I personally think he has. Jack Doyle retired, so a big tight end news day. Reliable weapon, kind of like Dallas Clark. And he gets to retire. Not a Hall of Famer, but had a solid NFL career, so good for you, Jack Doyle. Congratulations on retirement. And then Calvin Ridley got suspended today for the entire season, not half a season, not 2 games, all 17 games of the Atlanta Falcons next regular season. And number one, there's a problem with the NFL because he watched Ray Rice beat up his girlfriend, multiple other people beat up women and do drugs, and, smoking weed, and then betting on NFL games gets suspended way more. Yeah, it's been a weird day. But I told you everybody I'd be covering the entire offseason, so that's what I'm doing. And we got some things to talk about with Calvin Ridley. Number one, yeah, he did wrong. So stop everybody acting like Calvin Ridley is a victim here. I don't think suspending him for the entire season is punishable when you saw the punishments given for other crimes I think are way worse, and defending the integrity of the game is a bunch of bullshit. Suspending him for half the season's fine. And number two, he's not the victim here. He's wrong. You shouldn't be able to bet on NFL games. Referees can't bet on it. NFL players shouldn't be able to bet on it. Because, if he's like, oh, Aaron, I need you to throw this many yards. He's like, yeah, I got you, man. So Calvin Ridley is 27 years old. Born December 20th. That's his birthday. Next season, he will 28. And then in the middle of the season when he returns, he'll be 29. Is there going to be any value out there for a 29-year-old receiver that hadn't really played in 2 years? And he's got all the talent in the world. It's just what do the Falcons do with Calvin Ridley? Also, news with the Falcons from that, they are now under the cap. They saved $11 million from his suspension, so that is one way to get under the cap. Literally earlier today, there were reports that Calvin Ridley was in multiple trade talks between the New England Patriots and the Cleveland Browns, I think. But I know the Patriots were definitely interested in Calvin Ridley. Shoot, I wanted Ridley to come to Green Bay if we couldn't get Devontae to the long-term deal because he's a young, cheap receiver that's talented. Hopefully he got all his mental health stuff figured out. He left the season early. Obviously, no one's holding that against him. Figure out your own mental health stuff. But betting on the NFL games, jeez, that's dumb. Goodness. I'm sorry, Calvin Ridley, but it was a stupid mistake. I don't think you should have been suspended for the entire season. But it looks like you have some free time on your hands. Please come on my show. That would be really random, but also really fun. Just invitation. Any NFL player, literally any practice squad NFL player can come on this show. That'd be quite wonderful. Anyways, what does this mean for the Atlanta Falcons? Number one, their number one weapon is truly Kyle Pitts. Their number one receiver, again, is going to be Russell Gage Jr., who isn't a bad option. He's turning into a number one receiver. They got Omar Zaccheaus, which he isn't a terrible option there either. It's not looking great. But now this opens up to, hey, a receiver in the first round or top of the second round for the Atlanta Falcons. They also have a late second round pick that they could use a receiver on from the Julio Jones trade. By the way, Julio Jones would have been right because he would have been the number one receiver. But offense looking worse, and I'm very happy because I had a video planned on hey, I think the Falcons are going to win because Calvin Ridley's going to be coming back. Everything's going to be fine. I'm so happy I did not make that video because that would look very stupid of me right now. But where do the Falcons go from here? And now I still think in the first round you address the defense. But second round, I think receiver is 100% in play. I think the late second round top receivers in play because as much as Russell Gage isn't as appreciated as he should be, He does not have the talent of Calvin Ridley. Also, I think it's going to be a huge step up now for Kyle Pitts, or it's going to hurt his development because now everybody's just going to double team Kyle Pitts. 1,000-yard receiver caught 1 touchdown pass, who should be a monster red zone threat, was not a monster red zone threat that I thought he would be. I drafted him fantasy team. He put up yards. Non-fantasy wise, Kyle Pitts had a really good season. A lot of catches, ran some crisp routes, burnt some people, caught 1 touchdown, but he's got to have more touchdowns. I want to be a better fantasy player. But that is fantasy football talk. Fantasy football and regular football are very different. But, so, Falcons now need a receiver. Unless, again, as Russell Gage is underappreciated for what he is. He's not a true number 1 receiver, and that puts them in play. So, stacked wide receiver for agency class. Devontae Adams potentially. Amari Cooper's probably going to get released. Michael Gallup might leave the Cowboys. By the way, a Cowboys offseason story is crazy. But a lot of things happening now. And for Calvin Ridley, what do you do there? If you're the Falcons, do you re-sign Calvin Ridley? And if not, where would you sign? It would have to be to a team willing to take a shot. So I think a team like in win now mode that's missing a piece. And in 2 years, who could that be? The Patriots, Mac Jones developed. The Jets ready to take that next step. The Steelers, maybe. The Packers, somehow always need a receiver. Justin Fields could use a weapon. I don't know, but are you willing to take that chance on a 29-year-old wide receiver and play in a few years? Same as maybe Michael Thomas. I am Michael Thomas better than Calvin Ridley. I said that. It's a fact. At this point, he hasn't played in a couple years. How is he going to do this? 2020 season barely played. Last time he played a full season was when he broke the single season reception record. So, where do you go, Michael Thomas? Calvin Ridley is missing a huge step here, and I don't know if he'll find his way back to an NFL team. Look at all these loaded receivers that are coming into the NFL. You willing to take a chance? And the next couple of years, the receiver draft class is going to be stacked as always. I mean, the receiver draft class is always stacked. It just always seems to be. And wide receiver talent, you can find talent anywhere. Devontae Adams out of Fresno State. Antonio Brown, a 6th-round pick out of Central Michigan. There's wide receiver talent everywhere you look because the wide receivers is becoming so good. Would you rather take a young guy that you can develop, get into your system first, or take an aging 29-year-old receiver who now has left the game in the middle of the season once for a mental health issue, which again, no one's holding against him, but it's something to take a serious look at. And 2, he didn't say it again, his Twitter tweets were hilarious, by the way. He said he'd be healthier when he came back, which is great. And I think he could become comeback player of the year. But it's a team that would be willing to take that chance on an aging wide receiver. And you know what? He might just stay with the Falcons because the Falcons are going to have a new quarterback by that point, you would think, unless they're keeping Matt Ryan, which Matt Ryan's still going. Good for you, Matt Ryan, right? I didn't expect that. But, so, a lot of things happening here. Obviously talked about how punching, physical assault isn't a full season suspension, but gambling on the NFL games are, even though you're promoting FanDuel, DraftKings, sportsbooks everywhere. I don't know. It's integrity thing with the NFL is a bunch of PR bullshit. But I like Calvin Ridley, and I want you to do good. I love you, Bama. So come back stronger and come back healthier. And teams that need them down the road in 2 years, I don't know. But the Falcons, I think free agency is a good place to get that wide receiver. Amari Cooper, if you're looking for a route runner from Alabama, that's quite good. You know how much Atlanta loves their Alabama wide receivers. And then, drafting a receiver now should be very high up on the needs because you need another wide receiver because we know it's getting to an offensive lead. You need a running back and another wide receiver. So that offense right now is literally going to be aging Matt Ryan, superstar Kyle Pitts, underrated Russell Gage, but in that, and then hope something sticks at running back, maybe with Mike Davis again, or so the Falcons are looking to be a mess. That entire NFC South is going to be a mess. And now I think the Saints are going to win it if they keep Jameis. If they don't keep Jameis, everyone's going to tie in that division. We're going to see an NFC suck. Not the NFC South, but the NFC suck from here on out until someone makes a big splash to be good again. But that is all I got for you today. The Amari Cooper story is crazy. Him going to be released. Cowboy, where do they go from there? Anyways, That is all I have for you today. Calvin Ridley, I hope you get better. I hope your mental health issues are off the field. And when you do come back after this 2022 NFL season, 2023 season, hope you ball out. But for the Falcons, taking a receiver at the top of the second round isn't a terrible option anymore. A bunch of great ones. Falcons mock draft coming soon. Maybe. Depends on what I decide to do. Hopefully comes soon. Rams mock draft's probably the next one. And the Lakers are a mess. I keep teasing that video. It's coming soon. Just looks bad after a crushed win against the Warriors they just had. Thank you for listening.